Well, I haven't been up on the YouTube for a while, but anyway, I get requests every now and then. So I guess people want to see if I can play it or not. But this I put up the bridge of when I first started out. It's about 1,600 YouTubes ago on this channel. But it wasn't listed under the title of the song. The song we're messing with now is Ain't Misbehavin' by Thomas Van Swaller and Andy Razaf. But I put up the bridge and I just put it up under a lesson number. But I'll put this up under tutorial for this. And Janeen Jordan from Australia a couple times sent a couple recommendations that she'd like to see me play this tune. Do a tutorial on it anyway. The song Honeysuckle Rose is generally played in the key of F. And F is your favorite key for almost all instruments, especially in jazz world. Anyway, it starts off on the tune, as I've always said, music basically comes down to 5 and 1, which means C7 is the 5, F, G, A, B, C. F, G, A, B, C, 5. That's the 5th tone, and if you play that chord, it'll be a C7 in the key of F. The reason there's a C7 is because you're in the key of 1 flat, B flat, and if you put the B flat in the C, you get a C7. Anyway, it's music is usually 5 to 1, and this tune basically is C7 to F. I mean C7, yeah, in this first part, in the chorus part of it. The bridge will be a little different when we get there, whatever. Anyway, normally I might play like every honeybee filled with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't mind them goodness knows. Oh, honeysuckle rose. Or down here. Every honeybee filled with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't mind the goodness knows. Oh, honeysuckle rose. But the whole idea is, what it is it's really a C7 chord. You can play like every honeybee filled with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't mind the goodness knows. Oh, honeysuckle rose. That's the tonality. So what it is that F from the G minor 7 chord, which is a suspension in C7, the 5. Every honeybee filled with jealousy. You see, that's what was that. Every honeybee filled with jealousy. That's a G minor 7 to a C7. Now, down here, at that point, I was just letting the C ring under it and just playing. But that, I could put the D under it and make it every honeybee filled with jealousy. But since it's a 5 chord, a C7 chord anyway, in tonality, just what you're really hearing is the F to the E. Oh, every honeybee filled with jealousy when they see you out with me. You You see, so that's what you're really hearing. So what it is really, if you look at it, they do that a lot. They play the minor 7, the 2 minor 7, 2 minor 7. You're in the key of F. This is F, that's 1, G, that's 2. That's a minor 7 chord. They play the 2 minor 7 to 5, 2 minor 7 to 5. The G, which moves to the C. You know, the cycle of fifths, G to C. That's what's going on there. But what you really look at, if you look at this G minor 7 chord, what you've got is, and that G minor 7 chord there, which would lead to this. What you've got in that G minor 7 chord that's different than the C chord, C7 chord, is you've got that F going to the E in the C. Now, you've also got a D down here in it. The D in that chord. Now, all that is, if you look at it, is put that D in the C7 chord. All you've got, let's put it up here. You've got a C9. If I put it here, you've got the open. You've got you've got the 9 and the F in there. The F is the suspension. It's the E in the C7 chord is a C, D, E. It's the third. So you've got a third is what you're headed for, and you've got a suspension of the F, which is the 4, C, D, E, F, G. F here is the 4th, see? 3rd, 4th, 5th. So you've got the 4th rocking to the 3rd. As I've told you before, the 3rd and the 7 are the strongest notes of any harmony, 3rd and the 7, and they'll carry, watch, they'll carry that. Every honeybee filled with jealousy, when they see you out with me, I don't mind them, goodness knows. See? C7 to F, C7 to F, but the C7 is B flat and E. The 7 and the 3rd going to the A, the 3rd of the F chord, and the root, the 1 of the F chord. It's what's going on in there. So if it's just that, and we call it a suspension. In classical music, it would all be a C7, it would all be a 5 chord. But it would just have suspensions in it, and the suspensions in it would be the D and the F, because they're moving. The D is moving to C, and the F is moving to E. See, I can sing every honeybee. I can sing every honeybee filled with. Now, if I put the suspensions in. Every honeybee filled with jealousy, when they see you out with me, I don't mind. You see, it's those moving lines, and that's what makes the music work. Well, it can work without it. Folk music basically just uses, they don't use the suspensions. They don't use those minor 7s, 2 minor 7 to 5. You see, so anyway, what it is this. So I said, just let the C ring underneath this, and this will get the feeling of that G minor 7 to the C, just because of the suspension of the F in there, see? Now, put the melody over the top of that. I'm playing a 3-note chord. I'm not playing the A string. This is a tenor tuning. C, G, D, A. C chord, C7 chord, B flat in it, E. Now, if I'm just playing the suspension in there, now I put the melody over the top, and the melody over the top is C, B flat, D, F, A. See? So if I just bar those two there, I got the melody. Play the melody by itself. Play the D by itself. Play the F. And then play the C7 chord with a melody A, the 6th of the melody, or the 13 if they call it in the chords. So you got now I'm going to add the D in. I'm going to climb it up to the E. The third time to make it a little different, you see? Now, play the melody coming down. A, G, F, D. Just play it in there. A, G, F, D. Now you go to your F chord. Right? Honeysuckle Rose. Now, the music, the original music really goes then to a G7 chord. Da, 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 da. The original music goes to a G9 chord. A on top, G9. Put your finger down on the G. Now, here's your C7 chord with a suspension in it. Down to the 9 and the F. So it comes out from that. Every honeybee filled with jealousy when they see you up with me. I don't mind the goodness knows, right? And now G7, G9, honeysuckle, the F to the 9 rose. Now I could do a lot of other things in there. To get to the D, I could go like every honeybee. It's right there as a scale. That's the scale. That's the C scale. That's the C7 scale. So if I here, climb it. Now, why not go up from this F to the F augmented up to the D minor? And the D minor is the secondary 5 of the G7. And then put the B in the G7. And then play the A, the melody. Honeysuckle Rose. So after you've got the honeysuckle rose. Oh, da, 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 da. You see, so you're just working things around and playing off of what the notes are within the harmonies at that point. That also is all you do when you're playing. If you're ad-libbing, there's various different ways to ad-lib. Most people, like John Coltrane and people like that, Bud Freeman with the Eddie Conant gang and all that out of Chicago, they play chords. They run chords, run things from the chords. They would be, you know, then they would be running chords in their solos. I like what Louis Armstrong always did. Louis always kept the melody in his mind and in his melodies. So you could basically, what he's playing is ensemble stuff. He may just play right off the bat. He just may reach up and go and hold that note. But the point is, he's keeping a melody idea in his mind. He may play a very strange melody. He may come off of like a or something like that. May come off of things like that. But what he's doing at that point is he's playing chromatics, and he's playing the strange note that he wants, that augmented ninth, and he gets down to the C that way. C7. So he's playing off of chromatics and off of melodic. He plays with a sense of melodic ad-libbing performance. Whereas those other players I mentioned, like Coltrane's and a lot of most modern guys, and even Bud Freeman from back in the Conda days, they run chords. They run chords all the time. They're always running. You know, they're always running chords. Then they may hit that chord. About a ninth chord, you see. They're running chords, whereas Lewis played more melodies, which is what I would do. I tend to do that. I might go, or, you know, what I'm doing is the melody. It's more melodic, is what I like to play. And then there was here. So now we'll go on to the bridge from that. So it's you got that, you know, and then G9, C with the suspension. Now the bridge is like a C7. Oh my sugar. You just have to touch my cup, and you're my sugar. And it's so good when you stir it up, and you're back. You're back to that. You just playing around with what's going on, but the bridge is an F7, do my sugar, B flat, da 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 da, G7, da 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 da, C7, ba da ba da ba ba da, is what it is, and that's called a Sears and Roebuck bridge, or not really a Sears and Roebuck, that's called a Honeysuckle Rose bridge, and it's used in a lot of songs. So if you hear somebody say, "Oh, it's the Honeysuckle Rose bridge," you play those chords for it. Da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da. Ba ba da bee ba 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 boo ba 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 ba. You know, you're playing on those harmonies or whatever. Now, Sears and Roebuck bridge is if you were in the key of, like, for a key of C, and you go to the E7, the third, and then you go a cycle of fifths on the bridge to get back to the C. That's what in the old days they used to call a Sears and Roebuck bridge, because we'd be doing the difference, and the guy would say, "This doesn't have a Honeysuckle Rose bridge, it has a Sears and Roebuck bridge." And that's the way we grew up learning songs from guys telling us what the bridge was and what the chorus was like, and that sort of thing. So anyway, back to the bridge of Honeysuckle Rose. Since it's F, let's analyze where the melody is, because we need to always know where the melody is. We should always know the melody, ad-libbing or whatever we're doing, we should always know the melody. Now, so the bridge goes, don't buy sugar. So it goes, don't F, G, G sharp, or A flat, up to the A, then B flat, C, B flat, go C sharp, C, B flat. Then it goes down and does the same thing where it didn't. So now I'm going to do it from G. So I'm going to go G, A sharp, B, and then, you see, so now I'm going to add little things in it. I'll put little things into it that make it move better than just the straight melody of whatever's going on. Now, you could go, since you do this all the time, we do it on the key of F all the time. We do that to get up to the other, this is F with a C and an A. C, C, A. This is F. We climb up like that. That's like what you would play on a piano. Now, what that is, and then diminish. So the C, say it's like F, G minor, A flat diminish up to the F. if you were thinking the chords, whatever, if you want to play full chords or whatever. But we go. Now, if you think of that way of the F, and then know the G does the same thing, it's just up a step. All right, so then you go. Now you can do whatever you want here to get there, or you can put that diminished in. Right? Up to the F7. So it's play the diminish to the F7. So you just climb through the F7. You can play it like that, or you can play, or you can go. Just use that up to the F7, or it's there, but that puts the 7, the E flat in it. And you're headed for the B flat. Now reach up and play C in the B flat chord. Now use now what it normally would play in the music, I think they just do a F♯7 to F7 to B flat. Okay, but if you use this chord and let the C ring under it, sort of a diminished chord, it's a flatted 9 chord is what it really is. In this case, it's like a C, B flat, E, D flat. It's a C7 flat 9 chord. So you're going to go a cycle of fifths. You're going to go C to F back to B flat. So you go, and then the F7 back to the B flat. See how you can use those cycle of fifths to move stuff, and how you can use those diminished chords in to move stuff and all that kind of sort of thing. Now those diminished chords are flatted 9 chords in the cycle of fifths. So you, after you've hit the now you go down to the G. Then like a D minor here with the A open. Here's your diminished. Up to your G7. You know. Now you're going to a C7, but use that suspension, that F in it. So it'll echo like the rest of the song. And you got a G minor 7 chord with a C bass. G minor 7 with a C bass. Just play the melody. Now use that cycle. Or you could go G minor 7 to the, or you could, or you just go straight to the C7. You see what you can see how you can do all that different stuff by moving by suspensions and by cycle of fifths movements. So you've got that. What do you want to put? You want to put up the major 7? F major 7 on top when you finish the song. So you got all kinds of stuff you can do. Every honeybee filled with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't mind them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle Rose into the bridge. Don't buy sugar. You just have to touch my cup, and then you're my sugar. It's so good when you stir it when you want to love, and then when you're making of my tasty lips. Funny how the honey fairly drips. Your confection honeysuckle rose. That's just that. It's just that C augmented 9. And I just went up to F major 7, F major 9. The F major 9 looks like an A flat minor 7 chord, and it is. But remember, we're thinking beyond what the notes, the 4 notes are we have here. So you play. There you go. See, that's the extensions. If you were going F major 7, F major 9, and the 13. See how you move stuff around? And then they come out looking like other chords. And in reality, they are the other chord if you were using it in a different progression. You gotta finish your lines. If you don't finish your lines and just throw something in here and there, it's not really working. You need to make your lines work. And you need to have a reason why you're going to that particular whatever you're doing at that point, you know. I'm still an F. That's still an ending F chord. But there's no F even in that chord. But it's an ending chord. Because I've got a 6th and a 9. But since that 9 is in there, that makes that D up there higher. That's 6, and it makes it a 13. A 13 note and a 6 are the same note depending on what else is used in the harmony. And in this case, that's a 6-9 chord. A 6-9 chord. But if I use this under it with a 7, it would be a 13. 13 with a flatted 9. See, and then that's the diminished chord, which is also an augmented 9 chord. This was a C augmented 9. That's a B augmented 9, if you want to think of it that way. But you see, you would never, if you're playing this way in the key of F. So you've got to know what you're doing, when you're doing it, and where you're doing it to make it work. So anyway, that's Honeysuckle Rose, and Honeysuckle Rose, as I said, could be just played every honeybee filled with, here's the every honeybee filled with jealousy. When they see you out with me, I don't mind the moon's honeysuckle rose. When you pass me by, flowers drip inside, they all know the reason why. So with the goodness rose, honeysuckle rose. Now just want to buy sugar. Ask me questions, please. Let's go over a lot of this stuff. If you guys would come in and ask me questions and try a little of this stuff, you'll get onto it after a while. But you've got to stop thinking of the notes you have there, like you call that a D minor 7 chord. Yes, it is a D minor 7. As a bass, D bass under it, it's a D minor. You've got the root, the A, the 5th, the 3rd, and the 7th, the C, yes. But it's also an F6 chord. And a D minor 7 chord is the same thing as an F6 chord. You've got the F, you've got the A, you've got the C, that's an F chord, and you've got the D in it. That's an F6 chord. See what I mean? You can call one chord a million different names. It depends on how you're using it, where you're going to and from. How you got to it and how you're leaving it is whatever it is. But you always need to know the melody. Always need to have the melody up here and all around under your fingers. You always need to know the melody is the point, and you always need to know what the harmonies are, from the simplest to the most complicated you'll be playing. So then, but then after a while you'll find out they move all over the place the same. You know, I could be going, that's a lick out of what I'm going to show you in a minute, out of Georgia Swing by Jelly Roll Morton. But you can use that anywhere you want. Whenever you got an F chord, you can go. You can use different ideas from different things. And I'm going to show you, what I'm going to do with this other tutorial that I'll put up soon, is the difference between Jelly Roll Morton wrote this tune, Georgia Swing, and he wrote it in I think it's 28, or yeah, somewhere along like that. And like in 25 or so, Santo Pecora and the boys from the original New Orleans Rhythm Kings wrote a tune they called She's Crying for Me. And it uses a lot of the same melodic ideas and the same harmonies, but you don't get one song is different than the other. But Santo said, hey, you use my phrasing, obviously, because some places Jelly Roll gives Santo Pecora some credit on it, whatever. But they're definitely two different songs, but they start with like, you know, and you know, and they both have that, but it's phrased a little differently for the first strain. Then they go into Jelly's thing is, well, I'll get on to that in the next tutorial. Anyway, that's the end of Honeysuckle Rose. I'm just saying, once you get some of this stuff down, you can use it in a million different places. And go ahead and think of it. Think that way. All right? Okay. Bye for now on Honeysuckle Rose.